People always ask me why I do the ridiculous things I do.
We all have two choices in life: to walk the path of comfort or strive for the things that make us feel alive. Yoo!
I just never liked the term bucket list.
Yeah, I don't think death should be the ultimate motivator. I think living should be the motivator. My name's Seb Terry, and I have a list of 100 things that I'm trying to do to be happier in life. We all have the potential to do whatever it is that we dream of doing. The key to achieving things is giving yourself permission in the first place to consider who you are, what you are, where you've come from.
I grew up in Sydney, Australia, where as a kid I hung out on the northern beaches with Chris. We played on the same rugby teams and rode surf boats together. He was one of my closest mates. At 24, I was struggling to find purpose in life and what would make me happy. One night, I got a phone call telling me Chris had passed away, tragically. I was in shock. I felt empty. Losing a close friend so early in life completely crushed me and led me to question everything. If Chris could relive his life again,
If he knew somehow that he had only 24 years on Earth, if he just knew that in hindsight, would he live the same life or would he have changed everything? I don't think he would actually change a thing about his life if given a chance. I then turned that question on myself at 24, and after about 2 minutes of consideration, I just realised that I would change everything. My reaction was to grab a piece of paper and a pen, because as I saw it, I just wasn't happy. And I decided to write down a list of things that I hoped would bring a smile to my face if I was to try them. So one thing turned into 10, into 20, into 50, and I was just full of emotion. I suddenly had this bit of paper in front of me, which I saw as my opportunity to change my life. So I decided essentially to drop everything in my life to pursue this strange list of 100 things.
one of the harder items on the list is to kiss a celebrity, whether you consider it...
3, 2, 1, go! There it is! Woo! That's pretty crazy. Knock, knock. Who's there?
Seb Terry! Oh my god! Number 70, namesake, baby!
Now, it's time to embarrass him. Let's see how we go.
Number 89, visit the Playboy Mansion. That's a tick.
You see, living on my island, see something different every day. It's enough to write a song, surrounded by sky and the clouds way up high. I wish that I could tell someone about my island in the sun.
I felt really empowered. I knew I needed to be happy. I prioritised that in my life and I changed everything so that I could pursue my list. I was just excited. I knew this was important to me and I just threw myself at it 100%.
It was a crazy idea. It was out of the box and it wasn't something that I'd heard of before, so I had a few reservations. I can definitely tell you two that really worried me. The first one was hitchhiking across America, because I have seen so many horror movies about people getting kidnapped and killed. And so that one worried me.
I'm not lying, I made it. I've just hitchhiked from the east coast of America. Good for you.
The other one that worried me was him going to Colombia to get shot by a gun. I really didn't want him to do that one, and I didn't sleep for weeks leading up to it.
What? Is that it? I'm alive.
As I continued to tick items from my list, people began to take interest in following my journey.
We're with 100 Things adventurer Seb Terry. Now, Seb, what else have you got on the list that you need to tick off?
There is one thing, number 26, is to help a stranger. And I think that's a fairly easy one. So I guess, I don't know if there's anyone in the audience or anyone listening on TV, but I just want to help a stranger.
I was contacted by a man named Mark. When I met Mark, I immediately felt for him and saw a man in need. Mark suffers from Lyme's disease, combined with additional immune and genetic factors which damaged his nervous system. His body and speech are practically paralysed, but his mind remains really sharp.
I asked him what I could help him with. He said that he'd always wanted to complete a half marathon, and he just said, push me.
Once we actually finished, we crossed the line and we congratulated each other and gave Mark a hug. Complete strangers just walked over to us, kind of sensing what had happened, and they just started giving Mark hugs too.
It was the best thing that I've ever done in my life, and it was as simple as helping someone.
At the end, I felt alive. It was magical. It's about love, connecting, and being human.
I'd helped myself enough, and the first person I helped was Mark. And from that moment on, I haven't stopped helping other people.
When this journey first started, it was all about Seb. And now it's evolved into something so much bigger. It's now about people helping people.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Nervous.
Nervous?
Yes.
Why would you be nervous? You're jumping out of a plane.
I was contacted by a woman named Shoni who suffers from multiple brain tumours. She wanted more than anything to skydive.
When you get into a plane and they tell you that an oxygen mask will fall down from the ceiling in case of an emergency, and they tell you specifically to put yours on first before helping any others. I think in life you have to look after yourself first. You have to be in pursuit of the person you truly are. And when you get there, you're able to then help others. You're better equipped to do so.
I'll always be able to look at this moment and think, this guy, who I don't even know, has made such an impact on my life, and he's doing that not just for me, but for other people. He's changing lives just by doing what he loves. And today, help a stranger, that was me.
I thought it would take 100 things to find happiness. But strangely, it was number 26, help a stranger, that gave me a true sense of purpose.
I gave myself permission to ask a question to myself, and the answer for me has changed my life. And it's a question that anyone can ask themselves. What's on your list?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.